Hey guys, this is Drax, and yesterday we got the epic Star Wars Battlefront 2 single player trailer. Now everyone remembers the 501st campaign in the old Battlefront 2. Great story where we got to understand the feelings of the clones that had to fulfill Order 66 and kill off the Jedi. I must have played that campaign over 10 times. It was a great story and a great game. In EA's Battlefront 1, we didn't even get a story mode, but in their second game this one looks like it's going to be pretty damn good. Now as we know at this point, the story is set between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Also get to see a few things that took place before the Death Star version 2 was destroyed. The story will bridge the events, so we know everything that took place in that time. The main character here is Iden Versio, her homeworld is Vardos, and she is commander over the Inferno Squad. So with that info, let's dive into the trailer, dissect it up, and I'll point out a few key moments that I think really give the story away. So at this point I will warn of spoilers because the trailer I think pretty much tells you the story. So it starts with the capture of Iden Versio. In the campaign you'll be able to take control of her droid at certain parts to provide assistance, like freeing Iden here. She then salutes to the rebels and ejects herself out into space. As seen in another trailer, she then lands on the Corvus, which is the Inferno Squad Raider class corvette. We see the Corvus landing here, and as it's flying down we see the beams throwing down and the electrical storm ravaging the planet. Note at this point, you can see that this is Vardos, an Imperial controlled planet, as there are TIE fighters in the frame when the Corvus lands. The wiki also tells us that it was Iden's father, Admiral Garrick Versio, that brought the planet Vardos into the Empire. Following that, it seems to rewind a bit back before the Death Star was destroyed. We get to see a shot of it above the planet Endor, with it being blown up shortly after. Iden and her team were on the ground at the time, but as we know they were probably a bit late to the party, and from their position on the ground they were in the wrong place at the time to help out. From their faces they seemed to be in shock, so from my guess they had no idea that an attempt to destroy the Death Star was even taking place. She then returns to speak with her father in his ship above Vardos, who tells her of the Emperor's death. With retaliation in mind, Iden is then tasked with some unusual missions as we've seen in the previous clips, with Operation Cinder as the overall plan. We see a few clips flash up, including this one of what I believe to be Bespin because of these creatures, which are called Beldons. And as far as I'm aware, these Beldons are only native to Bespin. These Beldons, as mentioned in another video, produce Tabana gas used for hyperdrive coolant, so they are quite important. Then we get to see the Rebel Command discussing their target or possibly talking to Iden. I'm not sure on that one yet. But in this clip we do get to see C-3PO, so I guess we can expect to see R2-D2 at some point as well. Following that we get to see Operation Cinder taking place here above Naboo, with a satellite shooting down beams at the planet, forming a climate disruption array. This would then cause electrical storms and other extreme weather events that would ravage the planet over time. The damage caused to Naboo is evident in the next shot. There is then an attack on Takodana, or the possibility of an ambush on Takodana, and is quickly followed by an invasion on Naboo as we see the AT-ATs coming in via dropship. This dropship is the Imperial Gazanti class cruiser, previously only seen in Star Wars Rebels, carrying TIE fighters and troops. Iden then faces Luke at some point, I think on Sullust. This would be an interesting encounter. We see Leia being displayed here via hologram, hopefully by R2-D2. Maz Kanata there on her homeworld talking to somebody. I think Luke, because if you remember in The Force Awakens she has his lightsaber. This might be how she gets it. Iden Versio is then seen given a stern order to her team there, probably against their original orders. And this interesting shot here, which shows an AT-AT attacking an AT-ST and a few Imperial clone troopers. Following this, another clip we have seen so many times already, but now I think we can understand, is an attack on Vardos, an Imperial controlled planet. So this is probably the start of what I believe to be the division between the Imperial side, possibly leading to the creation of the First Order. This is then backed by Iden going against her father, Admiral Versio, with him giving her a telling off. Kylo Ren features for a split second, we see his hand there, so the First Order will play into this somewhere near the end of the story, and then we are left with Iden walking away from possibly a conversation with her father, looking pretty confused and possibly betrayed. So that is all the details I gathered from watching the trailer, with a little bit of help from the wiki. The campaign looks to be shaping up to be that perfect gap filler for the time between episodes 6 and 7. Once again EA have delivered an epic trailer, something they always seem to do so well, and if I'm being honest, I'm more excited for this campaign than I am for the next film. How long do I expect the campaign to be? Probably around 6 to 10 hours, hopefully 10, and any more than that I'll be pleasantly surprised. So that's it for all the details, with possibly a few that you might have missed or not known about. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.